First one says, hello again, Helen. Been a while. Hope you have been well. I have, thank you. In doing the work, blockages are clearing and popping up less often. And when they do pop up, they are uncovered and dissolve faster. My fear of death is greatly diminished and I'm finding an internal calm. But too calm, ? There seems to be a slight indifference, a lack of drive. It seems the fears had a purpose, driving a certain zest in life. So now what? Seeing the mind's program running seems like a beginning step, but I have not experienced oneness, that I am an infinite being and the connection between everything. For that, I only have a basic logical understanding. So feels like you're too calm, indifferent to everything. And for me, I remember that fears also seem to have the purpose of driving my existence. So if I wasn't scared constantly, how would my life move? Why would my life move? You know, that was the kind of question that came. And it is this switch over between the old way of functioning, being driven by fear and doubt and self-doubt and self-judgment begins to diminish. And in its place, moving to the forefront, because it's always been there, is this self, the great infinite self, whether we realize it or not. That is what we are, and it begins to move to the forefront of our experience. So that comes with an equanimity, treating everything equal, every experience. Some are more pleasant than others, and some things that we feel in our body, some emotions are more pleasant than others. But there isn't this push-pull of ego where, or not, it's falling away at least, where I'm trying to really push against something I don't like and hold on to the good. And that can seem like a lack of drive, a lack of purpose, but what it really is a lack of being driven by fear, being motivated by self-doubt. And more sliding into the movement of the universe as a whole. There's a natural flow of how our lives want to go. And when the egoic motivations are dropping away from that, then we can begin to feel the natural way that life wants to move, which is always towards everything we want anyway. We've just been getting in our own way with these fears and self-doubt. So now what you've said, well, now going deeper into who you really are, because the self, the infinite self, when it's really been seen clearly, it's going to really move the body. It'll move the body more than the egoic sense of self ever did. It will move the body very efficiently, very smoothly, very effortlessly, and you will achieve a lot more and have a life that perhaps you could have only ever dreamt of, full of peace and joy and abundance in all ways. This where you are now is a kind of halfway house. The old structure of the ego is starting to break down. The new, seemingly new at least, emergence of this infinite nature of yourself is coming to the forefront. And it's not driven by adrenaline, is it? It's just moving organically with life. And when something needs to get done, it will get done. Your body will do it. That isn't the same way that our old egoic structure used to function. Our egoic structure was, I should do this, so I'm going to push myself to do it. And then I'm going to second guess how I did it and all the rest of it afterwards. The way the infinite self moves is different. It will sit quite quietly, and then all of a sudden there'll be this burst of activity. So you could be sat there, I think, I'm not going to do anything today. I'm just going to have a really lazy, relaxed day. And then the body gets up and does a lot of activities really quickly and efficiently. And the other side of that, there's all this stuff I should be doing today, and the body just doesn't do it. And that we feel unnerved perhaps by the fact that we can't make our body move in the same way that we used to. But there's an inherent timing to everything that the body knows, because the body is connected to the universe. It is the universe. Our body is the universe. It is the self expressing itself in form. So it inherently knows when the best and easiest time to do something is. And that's not coming from our old egoic structure of I should do this now. I should do this now. And writing, if you've ever done any writing or anything, writing music, artwork, or anything creative at all, you'll know this already. You can sit down to do this. I've got some hours here to do some writing and nothing flows, because it's coming from that place inside where it's a should. I should do some. Or if I write this book and people like it, then I'll be more loved and more safe and I'll have more money. Whereas the self will move from joy. It wants to write or create out of joy. It wants to go to work because it wants to experience what it's like to be awake at work. It wants to have a family because it wants to experience what that's like, awake to who you really are and who these other beings really are. So it's a different way. So going deeper now into accelerating what's already happening, not forcing something, just saying, have I really seen the fullness of who I am? And the answer to that is always no. There's always more to see. Doesn't mean we're not deeply peaceful. But this kind of halfway house, it feels a little weird. We're still testing out how the self moves, still getting used to this different way of functioning, because it might be who we really are. But for a long time, we've moved from these fear-motivated places, as you said. And as you do that, and allow the natural rhythm of the body in your life to come back into the fullness, the forefront of your experience, you'll begin to experience that oneness in many ways. You'll begin to show up at places and meet people coincidentally. Of course, you've experienced this, but this will be your constant life experience over and over again. Just ending up where someone needs you without realizing how. Maybe they just need a kind word or a hug or just to be listened to. Maybe they just need your energy, your presence. And maybe they don't know that. And maybe you don't even know that. You just end up sitting there with them, and might never know why that had to happen, but it had to happen. So there's one of the ways the oneness will show up. A lot more of these coincidences, the meaning of the word coincidence is the coming together of two incidences perfectly. It's only it's only later that it's been given this other meaning of a chance, a chance encounter. When really, when you look at the deep meaning of it, it means it's been perfectly aligned by the whole universe. So, and if you want that to go even faster, even quicker, then I'd highly suggest diving into self-inquiry if you haven't already. And there's a whole playlist on the YouTube channel, Satsang with Helen Hamilton. There's a self-inquiry playlist on there that you can dive into, because it's just going to help this shift over. Who you thought you were is receding to the background, and who you really are is coming to the forefront or becoming clearer and clearer. So that will give you a very direct experience of oneness, self-inquiry. But as you work through your patterns that are coming up as well, fears, insecurities, unworthiness, all those things that were part of the separate being, you're going to have an intuitive understanding anyway that you are everywhere, that the only thing you've ever experienced is yourself over and over again.